Right now, your attention is being hijacked. It's being hijacked by war. It's being hijacked by politics. It's being hijacked by every single available programming metric that you can imagine. It's being hijacked. And there's a way to bring yourself back to center, back into alignment. And I'm just going to give you my view on this and how I think you're best to do it and how you're best to tackle it in this environment we are right now. We are in a topsy-turvy world. You've got Iran seemingly now at war with every proxy in the Middle East. You've got instability everywhere. You've got the oil price running riot. And you've got all these things trying to steal your attention and steal your time and energy away from what you should be concentrating on, which is being the better version of yourself. And the reason all this is happening is so the industrial complex gets you so consumed by the negativity and the stuff in this environment that you don't concentrate on the areas of your life which are best going to serve you, right? You need to be so resolute now and so dialed in on exactly what you want to achieve, so you don't get pulled into this metric and these metrics that they're putting out through all the television programming and everything else, because otherwise you get pulled into worry, you get pulled into over-analysis, you get pulled into secondary thinking, you get pulled into ways of being perhaps that you wouldn't be, stress, this, that, the other. You start to listen to influencers that shouldn't even have an impact on your life. You start to go there because you see certain things that make you think certain ways, right? Let me tell you how to get rid of all of that. The first thing is you need to understand, right, that you are a sovereign human being. And the only way that you give yourself the sovereignty to think clearly in times like these is to know the structure of the plan that you're trying to achieve and then to execute on that relentlessly. That way, your time, your energy, your vital hours left on this planet do not get stolen by somebody that doesn't matter, talking about something that really, does it affect your life? Yes, a lot of these topics, war, Iran, flights, all this stuff that does affect your life, oil prices, yes, they affect your life. But a lot of these things are beyond myself and your control. So you can't control them, but all of the things that are trying to attack your attention span are telling you about these things, right? So the only way that I know that you fight against this is, I know a lot of people say, well, block the apps, do this, do that, all the simple stuff. I get all that. That's all very simple. That's all very logical. That's all very easy to do. Block words on your X feed, don't log into the apps, put blocks on your phone, all of that stuff. I get all that. It all has its place. But the key fundamental skill from an advisory standpoint that I can give you is the fact that if you're so dialed and so clear on what you want and your plan of attack for attaining it and the structure required of who you need to be in order to turn up to the world and be the right energy and be the right person to achieve that, to attract that, to build that. If you're so dialed in on that version, that is the version of you that allows you then to go and create that, and then allows you vicariously to block all the other information, all the other outside noise that will come across your table at some point during the day, during the year. You will get the texts from people going, hey, what do you think about this that's happening in Iran? You will get texts from people in your network that say, hey, should I go to Dubai right now? You will get texts saying, hey, should I leave Dubai? Should I do this? Should I do that? You will get all that information. But because you got so routinely dialed in on what you're doing, why you're doing it, the structure that you have to be able to achieve that, because you got so relentlessly focused on that, it allows you to go, do you know what? I'll park that and I'll respond to that later on, or I won't even respond to it at all. Just understand this. Not every time that someone asks you a question or tries to pull you into a narrative, you don't have to jump into every narrative or answer every question you're answered or go for every coffee you're invited to or talk in low vibrational frequencies that everyone tries to bring you into. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that I just do not respond to. Don't get me wrong. When I'm not completely dialed on my mission, why I'm doing it and the structure I have to adhere to in order for me to achieve it, when I'm not completely dialed in, when I've been distracted by whether it's a woman, whether I've been distracted by politics, whether I've been distracted by what's going on in Dubai or this, that, and the other. No matter what's distracting me, but when I get pulled off focus, I too can get into this, over analyzing what's going on in the world and trying to have an answer to it. You're not meant to have an answer to everything. You're meant to have an answer to the things that are relevant to your life and your structure that you're trying to achieve in that moment. That is where your most pivotal answers in life will come from. And that is how you separate yourself from every other, NPC character that's trying to pull you into different narratives. Just understand this. Everybody that you speak to on a level in the world is all guided by their worldviews, and not everyone else's worldviews and everyone else's data points are good data points. So you don't want to get pulled into data points that do not support where you're going. And that's why it's so critically important, like I said, to make sure you dial it back and fully understand, what is it I want to get out of life? What is it I want to get in this next 3 months of my business or my life, this and the other, whatever it is you want to achieve? What structure do I have to put in place as a plan of attack so that I can achieve those things in my life? Because once you have that structure and once you have that plan, it would be really hard to get pulled off out of alignment then, because you understand unequivocally what you are there to do. You will get thrown curveballs. You will have days where it won't seem like it's working. You will have times when it feels like you're fighting an uphill battle, but it will make it easier to stick to the straight line of what it is. When I started selling years ago, one of the courses that I did to first learn sales was Straight Line Persuasion by Jordan Belfort. And it really changed my life in a lot of ways back then, because of the fact I understood that every single person that I was speaking to on a sales conversation would try and take me off the straightest line to the sale and try and get me to talk about, their cats or what their wife's opinion was or what this or what is. Things that didn't matter, things that didn't serve them, didn't serve the sale, and didn't serve our ability as an agency to help them as a client. So they would try and pull it off the line one way or another. So apply that straight line system then to your life. You are at point A and you want to get to point B. Now, I understand it's not going to be the perfect straight line between that, but the closer you can keep it to the perfect straight line and the closer you can keep yourself accountable to what that straight line looks like, the faster you can achieve success in every area of your life that you want to achieve. The biggest problems, as I say, is the fact that most people do not understand their plan. They don't understand why they want their plan. They don't understand why they're scaling certain areas. A lot of founders and a lot of entrepreneurs get really, really unclear on their scaling different parts of the business at different times. They don't know how to structure their business. They don't understand so many different elements of why they're doing what they're doing. And that's what leads them to a lack of clarity, a lack of focus, and then ultimately puts them down the wrong path into scaling the wrong things, going down the wrong avenues, wasting money, marketing the wrong product. It's just a ripple effect down the track. So as a founder, as a human that's going in the quest for the betterment of your life right now, as I said, get it straight in your mind. What is it I'm trying to achieve? Why am I trying to achieve that? And then understand that once you know those bits and once you've written that, radically question all of those things of why you want to achieve them. But then from a founder perspective, from an entrepreneurial perspective, what do I need? What structure do I need to put in place to allow this to happen? Right? And then write that structure down and figure what that structure is. Yeah. And if you need help figuring what that structure is, you can use my consulting business, leverage8.com. I'll leave a link under here. You can use other consultants, you can use advisors, whatever you use, or you can use AI if you find AI is useful for this. But you need to get straight and structured on why it is you're trying to achieve what you're trying to achieve so you can go and do it. And that's where many people fuck it up. And it's where I've had blind spots in my life. And that allows you to get infiltrated by the negativity of the news, the media, the wars, the this, the that. There's always going to be another Iran war, another Dubai problem, another oil strike, another gold bull market, another crypto bear market. There's always going to be these factors. And the only way that you remain unfazed in these situations is to understand the structure of why you're doing what you're doing. And it'll allow you so much peace, because you will be able to say, do you know what, no matter what's happening in the world, and no matter how far that the world tries to take me off the straight line between me and my ultimate vision for my goals, for my business, for my family, it doesn't matter, because I am dialed on the structure that I need to achieve this. So I hope that helps you in your quest, and much love.